Hello, I'm Brian Fox. Welcome to my channel, I Hate Rock Music. So for this video, let's get back to the rock. And this probably could be a controversial, provocative video. And that's the whole idea is Iggy and the Stooges, I Got It Right, the greatest rock 45 of all time. And I'm sure there's a lot of feelings on both sides of the argument. And I can say that it's really hard when you think of great rock singles. A lot of times I think of a song that's so perfect and gets issued as a rock single, and it usually just has a incredibly memorable melody and great singing and really nice construction and pop. And a lot of what I consider the greatest rock singles and 45s of all time generally kind of fall in that category. I think of stuff like Alice Cooper, I'm 18, or The Move, Do Ya, or The Who, Pictures of Lily, any number of great singles by the Beatles or the Rolling Stones, Honky Tonk Women. You know, arguably, that's one of the greatest rock singles of all time. Certainly, the Birds and the Beach Boys have incredible songs that just are such a wonderful slice, one song around 3 minutes that can give you so much incredible music. And Nirvana certainly released a lot of great singles. And then we have hard rock singles that are really just some of the great rock singles of all time. Led Zeppelin's Whole Lotta Love, Black Sabbath's Paranoid, pop gems like Cheap Trick's Surrender. David Bowie had a lot of great singles. But somehow, when I think of the greatest rock 45 of all time, I keep coming back to Iggy and the Stooges, I Got It Right. First of all, the lyrics, of course, are anthemic in the same way that My Generation by The Who, I Hope I Die Before I Get Old, with Iggy and the Stooges, you have I Got a Right to Sing Anything I Want, Any Old Time, which is just a great anthemic, full of attitude. And I think that I Got It Right just has all the elements of pure, great rock music. And it both is looking back at music and has some roots in garage punk, but it's also looking forward because it was recorded in 1972 and it predates punk rock by a good 5 years. And of course, it's the ultimate punk rock record. As much as I love the Sex Pistols and Generation X and the Buzzcocks and the Clash, even most of that stuff pales in comparison to I Got It Right. And one of the things that's really great about great rock and roll in this single is it's just the purest elements of rock: guitar, bass, drums, vocals, with incredible energy, completely frenetic, uh, pretty simple, very immediate. All the things that make the best rock music when you get down to the essence of what rock music is all about. And um, I think the construction of it really makes it really consummate. The fact that there's a band crescendo at the beginning of the record instead of the end. You usually hear that kind of wrap up of the guitar, bass, and drums just making a bunch of noise, kind of at the end of rock songs. But this 45, it starts with that, and then it launches into this riff. And the Ashton brothers on bass and drums uh, just drive it home, and it's just one staggering, energetic, pulsing, thrusting, pounding beat through the whole song. And that simplicity is at the essence of a lot of great rock. And I love a lot of rock that's complex. I like a broad range of what's called rock. But when you get down to the essence and purity of what rock and roll is, finding a great riff and driving it home like nobody's business is really at the heart of great rock. And so you have the crescendo at the beginning of the record, and then the riff launches in, and it's just a really simple riff, but it just does it. It's just such a classic riff right off the top of the game. And that's one of the things that amazed me about rock when you have bass, drums, and guitar, you have the same elements, and then you have a guitar riff. And what differentiates a killer riff from a lame riff, and how many configurations can be done with guitar, bass, and drums? Of course, we know the answer. An entire universe can be done, and then getting to the essence of what a great riff is and what a lame one is. The riff, and I got it right, is just as simple as they come, but it just delivers the goods like nobody's business. And then of course, Iggy Pop launches it with this cheetah scream of his, which announces that some shit is coming your way, and like only Iggy can do. And so this song would not work in anybody else's hands. And then you got James Williamson. Um, he, his style and his idea of riffs and the way he solos is really unique, and it shouldn't be. It's pretty basic elements. He doesn't do anything that radical. It's still in line with somebody like Johnny Thunders or Keith Richards, but he just has that certain something. And the fact that that riff, and I got it right, is something he came up with, and 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 then that lead solo is just insane. It's like somebody pushed him into a light socket. Just pure electricity, barely under control. And the way he launches into the solo with a sustain note, and then throws out a ripple of other notes, and then ends it as quickly as it began, is just consummate. Uh, kind of like the solo in Communication Breakdown by Led Zeppelin. I mean, if you can deliver a solo like that with a lot of energy and a lot of freneticism and do it in a second or two, then you've got a handle on what rock and roll is all about. And then there's the speed of this song. In 1972, to have a song that fast was completely unheard of. And the fact that it was recorded in 72 is just stunning. And of course, we know it didn't get released until 5 years later when punk rock had started. And it's incredible that something like that was left in the can. And I understand it's from the very earliest sessions for the Raw Power album. And to me, it's unbelievable that they didn't do a version of that and put it on the Raw Power album. It's not like Raw Power could be improved on, but imagine having I Got It Right on there, recorded at the same time at that speed. But one of the things about the single that also adds to the total beauty of it is the fact that it's so lo-fi, and the fact that it doesn't have a lot of production values. It's raw and immediate, and the fact that it's lo-fi only enhances it, and especially on a 45. It leaps off that turntable like a animal in pain, and just a glorious thing. And the fact that in the lyrics, like I mentioned, they're so anthemic, right up there with the Who. Hope I die before I get old. Talking about my generation, those kind of rock anthems that speak to, especially teenagers with all their torture and their defiance and their crying out to the world, "Look at me." Iggy just nails it, and just the fact that the lyrics are so simple, and there's a chorus, but it's built into the song itself. The music doesn't really change, but there's a chorus, and that's it. I got to write anytime I want, and and then of course the beauty of it, the fact that it's 3 minutes and 24 seconds, and it's 3 minutes and 24 seconds that almost feels like 2 minutes. It's so fast and so loud, and of course that's the bottom line too. It's so fucking loud, even compared to Raw Power. It has more of the loudness and volume of something like Funhouse, but even more so, the lo-fi and the volume just makes it a beast. And nobody but Iggy could have done this. and what a consummate moment. And so, for all those reasons, I just have to say that I think Iggy and the Stooges, I Got It Right, is the greatest rock single of all time. And I just told you why. So go ahead and heap on me on the comments. I'm sure a lot of people you will agree, and a lot of other people will think I'm insane. Ha ha ha! I can't debate that. But wow, I mean, seriously, I'm Brian Fox. I hate rock and roll.